Hi, welcome to Base Editing with Daisy. In this segment I wanted to explore more about what I talked about in the Making Your Base Work For You video, where I talked about being able to hide or disguise things like storage, because it doesn't always look so good or fit in with your concept. Now here we have an apartment I've set up basically just for these videos. This is a door like I spoke of that has a teleporter right in the door, and you can use these to get around in your base. Just put your teleporter shard in the door and your point on the other side at the destination. So we have here a little apartment. And what I've done is set this up like it was for one character using arcane salvage. Now here, this little trunk is actually sticking out the side of the arcane. You really can't access them from the ends, just the sides. So this is the side that has a chest, the other side has the table with the books. So either one of those, if it's sticking out, you can access it. There are also ways to access it hiding it. You can disguise it with something. Here I have sunk it a little bit and angled it a little bit, and it's behind these cabinets, just like if you had storage in a cabinet. And so, that also works. You can also even label them if you want to. There are two different ways to label. One is with a, this smaller A is actually a banner. If you go to your supergroup settings, you can change your banner each time you place it. You have to do it before you place it. So you can actually go through the whole alphabet, and I have an alphabet letter up here as size comparison. You can see it's a good bit smaller and a slightly different font. So that's an option, but you have to stick it just barely through the wall so only the symbol is showing. So that would be, like I said, one way to show it. Now this is an upside down I/O storage rack. You can do that with either arcane or tech, and you can make a nice little entry table with it. I have it just turned on the narrow end here just to make it less bulky. Over here in the closet I have a inspiration storage rack. You can do this with the arcane, not so much with the tech. I'll show you that in another base. And then in the clothing rack I have the thematically correct icon employee, so you can change your costume when you go to change your clothes in the clothing rack. Now, usually I would have this upstairs, but of course I just threw this together just show you the concept. And you can put other NPCs inside of other things. I'll show you that in another base. And then over here I have a combat logs disguised as a microwave. This is a bathroom wall panel that's just in front of the green screen that's normally there. The TV stand is an invention work table. And then over here in the fireplace I got real sneaky and I hid a Oros crystal pillar of fire and ice, but it's fire, so it blends right into the fireplace. I can't even see it. So this would be something like you might have set up for just one character. A couple different options for you. Let me show you my main supergroup. It's a tech themed base set in under the sea with an island on top, but all the facilities are right here, easy to access. I have NPCs right around the entry, so you can just pop in, train, sell, whatever you need to do, and pop right back out again. This is the work area. This is what I spoke of when I spoke of putting the salvage completely behind a wall. This would be, I have 8 salvage bins for common, and that gives me about 20 pieces for each type of salvage. So I have A through B, and then C has its own container, because it has 4, I think. D through H, I, because again it has a lot. K through N, R, because there's 4 R's. S through SPE, SPI through T, because there's a lot of S's. Then I have 1 for rares, 1 for special, and that would be your catalysts, converters, unslaughters, and things like that. And then I have 2 for uncommon. And you can see these are all color coded: yellow for uncommon, and blue for special, and red for orange for rare, white for the common. And then you can see I also have the I/O tables standing up right here. Instead of being like a table, they're more like part of the wall, and I have them color coded so you can tell what goes in there. For me, I use red for I/O sets, and then white for just the generic I/Os like damage and accuracy and things like that. And you can see I have a merit machine here and all the different workshop stations and so forth, just so it's all convenient and all close together here when you come in off the base. These are the tech inspiration holders, like I mentioned, and the thing about these is you have to be able to mouse over this part here, or the computer screens. You can't just access it from the top because that doesn't work very well. So you have to have that big, noisy, shiny ball if you have tech-themed inspiration dispensers. Then we have our medical res units back here. So if you were to get defeated, you could come back, do your empowerment buff, grab your inspirations, and head out the door back into the fight. In here, it's a little bit darker to show off the special effects, and we have our teleporters. Now, I've just taken a plain old Vanguard teleporter and dressed it up a little bit with some other tech and some other effects. So some people categorize theirs by alphabet. I like to do by categories. So here we have Blue Line. This is basically places that you could get to off the tram in Paragon City. Now there are 11 of those destinations, so for the magical one, Croatoa, I placed with other, and these would be places like Pocket D, like First Ward, Night Ward, places that are magical or alternate dimensional. And then there's also Red Line, all the villain side and cooperative zones, or most of the cooperative zones. And then there's Hazard, which there are exactly 10 hazards, so that works out well for the 10 destinations you can put on any teleporter. So you don't ever need more than 4 teleporters to cover every destination that you can get to in the game. And over here, I have tried to tech up the Oros crystal so that it looks like something that's technical instead of mystical. And then over here we have the mission computer where you can get access your tip missions and your alignment missions and things like that. So that's this base, and like I said, it's tech oriented, so all is pretty compact, pretty neat. The next base is has got more arcane type objects, and it's a bugged themed base. So these are for bug themed characters, so it's all sized for bugs and designed for bugs. So you have this, I have it on Husk out here, which they might have burrowed into and made their home. So then we've got the teleporters, because mushrooms would probably grow inside a place like this. They might even eat the mushrooms. This is like the cafeteria with its garbage and its plants and so forth. So I'm going to the workroom. Again, it's all designed to look like it's for bugs. So I used arcane pieces because they would blend in with the rocks that I was using to make it look underground and so forth. Again, it's color coded. Again, it's labeled. You can see parts of the storage racks sticking out because the rocks are not perfectly level or even, and that's fine. And these are just kind of overgrown. I've got some more workstations here inside this mushroom, and again, it's just trying to look very buggy type of thing. Up here, kind of a twisty little passage, and then I have an overgrown computer and the Oros crystal, and then over here I have the medical facility, and you would res here, and then this is the arcane version of the combat logs, as this Tree of Wonders. Then back here we have some empowerment stations overgrown with bio type growths, and then we have our inspiration storage, but in the mushrooms I've hidden NPCs. So you can hide NPCs pretty much anywhere. As long as you can click on their box, you can access the NPCs. And there's one in here. I have found him. There he is, the Vanguard Drill Instructor. It must be the short version. And then over here is Icon Employee, because people would just not be thematically a good fit for the space because it's meant for bugs. So I have hidden them in the rest of the pieces that are thematically correct for a bug type base. So that's pretty much what I had to show you. I hope this has inspired you and given you some ideas for hiding those pieces that you still want to use but don't want to see. This is all for now. Thanks for listening. Bye.